Hi there, everyone. My name's Mickey, and we're going to do some gentle yoga together. So, I have some props. I have my mat, I have two blocks, a blanket, a big pillow, and what else? Oh, a strap would be handy. And then I did get a chair so I can demonstrate some things with the chair. And then I also do have a tennis ball here. So make your way down to your mat however you'd like. If you want to use blocks, you can set them underneath your shoulders. And then maybe you step your feet back and you can start to lower one knee at a time down to the mat. And then we are going to be coming onto our backs. And so, what I like to do with the blanket is take the blanket, unfold it, and then just make a little roll. I'm just rolling my blanket twice. It's a very small roll. And this roll is going to go underneath our heart center. Now, you can always experiment, allow yourself to experiment, try things out, and then you can always veto them. So, if you want to bring that blanket down, you can swing your legs around in front, and then maybe you bring your blocks to either side of your body, and then you can start to lean back, allowing your chest to come down, or actually, that's your back. Your chest is in front. So your back can come down to that blanket roll, and you might sway your hips a little side to side and just shimmy in to find that just right place. And maybe you plant your feet on the mat and allow your knees to come in together and touch. It's like a little teepee with your knees. Then with your arms, you could bring your arms out to the side, allowing the hands or the arms to come into goalpost positions. Like we call this cactus arms. If that feels like too intense of a stretch for the chest, the shoulders, you could also bring your hands to rest on your belly, and it might help because you have that blanket to lift your elbows. So we have so many choices and options. And really, we're just looking to find something comfortable to allow yourself to settle in here. One more option with the legs that I was going to mention where you can use the blocks is to bring the soles of the feet to touch, allow the knees to open, and then you could use the blocks and bring them underneath the knees for support. So find your own way of settling into your body. You might close down the eyes or soften the gaze. And then just imagine yourself on like a hike through the forest. Find a little path and allow yourself to follow that path deep into your heart center. And as you arrive there, maybe it's a picturesque scene out in nature. Notice a little babbling brook and imagine that a message is there for you. So often we are getting messages from the outside world, and just notice if there is a message deep inside you for yourself. Maybe that message is an intention, something you'd like to cultivate or something you'd like to release. Imagine that intention as a glowing jewel and allow it to plant itself at your heart center. If you'd like a suggestion for class today, the theme that I'm using for this month is called Satya. And Satya means truthfulness. So in yoga, we have 10 ethical practices. The second one is called truthfulness or satya. And I just have a short quote from the book by Deborah Adele. She says, "We are here on this earth to self-express in a way no one else ever has or ever could." As you allow those words to wash over you, you might just take a moment to admire this earthly form, this gift of life. Imagine from that babbling brook, gratitude bubbling up from your heart. Notice how it looks and how it feels. And then when you're ready, we're going to invite some movement into the body. If at any time, if this blanket roll is not feeling comfortable, I haven't really heard most people tell me it's uncomfortable, but if it is, you can certainly move it off to the side and bring your back flat on the mat. What we're going to do from here is extend the arms out into a letter T. You can keep your legs however you have them, or point your knees up towards the sky. And then we're going to give ourselves a nice big hug. So stretch your fingertips wide to the side, and then on the exhale, bring the right arm over the top of the left. Give yourself a nice big hug. Maybe it would feel good to gently rock a little bit side to side, just finding a gentle massage along the spine. As you rock side to side, you might press your feet into the mat, and maybe you notice that your spine is creeping a little bit up the length of the blanket. So you're just finding different places for that blanket roll to gently massage along your spine. Imagine those bubbles of gratitude coming up from the heart, weaving their way around your spine. We'll take one more nice deep breath and then come back to stillness. We'll open the arms out wide to the side, reach your fingertips in either direction, and then take a moment to call to mind someone you'd like to send gratitude or a loving hug to. And then on your next exhale, we'll sweep the arms up and over, wrapping the left arm on top of the right, bringing your hands to your opposite shoulders. And you can once more start to rock a little bit up and down, or side to side, I should say, almost like your elbows are painting a line on the ceiling, a horizontal line that would be. And maybe as you rock gently side to side, you can feel that warm embrace and allow the blanket to give you a gentle massage along your spine. Only if that feels good. If it feels too intense, remember, this is not supposed to hurt. So just breathe into the sensation. Take one more nice deep breath and then come back to stillness. We'll inhale to sweep the arms out wide to the sides. And then if your knees are out wide to the sides, you can sweep your hands down towards your thighs and press your knees together. And then we'll land the hands next to the hips. On your inhale, float your arms up and overhead. Reach the fingertips past the ears. If you have anything in your way, you can push it out of your way. And take a nice deep breath. And then as you exhale, you can draw your hands down towards your hips. Press into the earth. And then maybe you lift your head, drawing your chin towards your chest. Inhale, drop your head gently back down, and then we'll rainbow the fingertips up and overhead. You might imagine sparkly rainbows raining over your body. Because why not? Go ahead and follow the pace of your own breath. You can land your hands and maybe you curl your chin. On your exhale, lower and lift. Let's take one more nice deep breath like this. And then go ahead and soften your head back down to the mat. Press into your feet. Slide your hips over to the right. We'll roll onto the left side. And then you can move the blanket roll off to the side. In a moment, we're going to come back onto our backs. And then it would be helpful to have a strap handy, or you might even use like a kitchen towel would work. Just something to help lengthen through your arms, because we're going to do a little stretching for the legs. Let's go ahead and land the feet out in front. You can reach the fingertips out and then start to bring your hands behind your thighs. Roll onto your back. Hug your knees towards your chest and give yourself a little hug here. Maybe it would feel good to bring the knees towards the armpits and then either leave the hands resting behind the thighs, or you might walk your hands up towards your feet or your ankles or your calves. Maybe you just give yourself a little bit of a massage here with your hands. You could either squeeze your ankles and start to rotate your ankles, or maybe you give your feet a little squeeze. Allow yourself to smile warmly upon yourself in this childlike shape. We call this Ananda Balasana, happy baby pose. And you might gently rock a little side to side. And then with your next exhale, go ahead and land your feet on the mat. We'll bring the hands down next to the hips. You can press your palms into the earth and then press your feet into the earth. On your next inhale, lift your hips any amount to come up into bridge. Exhale, gently lower the spine back down, one vertebrae at a time. Go ahead and find a few more rounds, pressing into the heels, lifting the hip points, coming up into bridge. Exhale to gently lower, softening your effort. If you're feeling a little tired from that, you could even just pause for a round of breath and then come back in when you feel ready. Inhaling on your next. Inhale, lifting up into your bridge and exhaling to lower. And if you want to give yourself a little challenge, the next time you lift up into your bridge, you might pause here for a few rounds of breath. You can come in and out at any time. On the next exhale, go ahead and soften your back down to the mat. And then we'll reach for our strap next. So you're going to take the strap or whatever you're using as the strap, and then just have a little bit of distance in between your two hands. You can leave your right foot on the mat, and then we'll lift the left foot, reach up, wrap the strap around the foot, and then you can extend that leg long. Maybe take a moment to sigh out through the mouth. Softening here. Noticing where you can relax your effort. Maybe you don't have to hold on as tightly with your hands. And then find other places in the body that might have gripping, maybe in the shoulders or the jaw. And see about softening any of that effort. Now you can leave your right foot planted on the mat, or you might slide that leg long, allowing the back of the right leg to rest on the mat. Take one more nice deep breath here, and then we'll transfer the strap into the left hand. And you can start to allow the left leg to open towards the left. Any amount that feels good. You could always support underneath the leg if you didn't want to go as far. Maybe you take a chair or a prop to just wedge underneath that leg if you're feeling like it's hyperextended. Take another nice deep breath here, breathing into the sensations. We call this Supta Padangusthasana, head to knee pose. Then we can inhale, lift the leg back up to center. This time we're going to transfer the strap into the right hand. We're not coming into a twist though. We're just allowing the left leg to gently cross the midline. And you might feel this along your glute, your outside edge of your left leg and your IT band. And once more, just ask yourself, where can I soften? Where can you allow the weight of gravity to balance your effort and your ease? Then we'll inhale, lift the leg back up to center. Go ahead and unstrap it, and then we'll slide both legs long on the mat. Reach your arms long overhead. Find a long body stretch, and then rotate the wrists and the ankles. You can reverse the direction of your wrist and ankle circles. And then when you're ready, go ahead and rainbow your fingertips and your arms back down towards your sides. Step into your feet, plant your feet on the mat, and then we're going to get ready for the other side. So you can leave the left leg planted, and then we'll take our strap, wrap it around the ball of the right foot this time. And actually, fun fact, I actually got this extra long strap for this pose in particular, because what I prefer to do, and I'll just demonstrate, you don't have to do it though. If you have an extra long strap, what you can do is use it to wrap behind your body. So what I do is take the buckled side. Let's see, this one is like 10 feet long. So I have it looped, and then I wrap it behind my body so that I don't have to hold on as tightly. And it's just kind of fun. Fun fact, I had a strap that wasn't as long, so I couldn't do it this way. But either way, you can still hold on with both hands. Maybe you keep that left foot planted, or you could slide the left leg long. Maybe that allows you to find a little more space. Take one more nice deep breath right here. And then we're going to start to open the leg out to the right. So you can transfer both ends of the strap into your right hand. And maybe you start to slide that right leg open any amount. And you can kind of see with the big circle here, kind of have a stopping point, a natural stopping point. But you can also use a pillow or a block or even a chair and wedge it underneath any part of your right leg to just keep that leg a little lifted. Just thinking about not going to your most extreme edge, just finding a place that feels sustainable. Take one more nice deep breath here, and then we'll inhale, lift the leg back up to center. This time you can transfer the strap into your left hand and just allow the right leg to ever so slightly cross the midline. Notice where you feel the sensation and allow yourself to not go to your absolute edge. You could give yourself the option to relax any places of extra effort, maybe from the shoulders, the hand. Take one more nice deep breath all along the outside edge of your right leg. And then we'll inhale, bring it back to center. You can release your foot from your strap, set the strap off to the side, and then lengthen both legs long. Reach through both arms, find a nice long body stretch once more. Go ahead and reverse the direction of your wrist and ankle rotations, sending your breath into those joints. And then when you're ready, you can bring both hands down towards your hips, press into your feet, plant them on the mat, and now press into your feet and slide the hips to the right so that you can roll onto your left side using your arms. You can press yourself up into a seat, and we'll come to any kind of comfortable seat. So I like to use a blanket or a pillow to lift the hips. So you might just fold the blanket into a rectangle. That's going to give you a little bit of lift. And then you can either come to a cross-legged seat, or a lot of these shapes that we're going to be doing seated, you would be able to do from a chair as well. So if you can allow your sit bones to lift, that's why a lot of times people, I think, use like a meditation cushion, although I have mine over there. But the blanket works just fine for me. And then we'll have our blocks handy, and let's also have our strap handy. So you can come to a quiet seat. Maybe you allow your gaze to soften or close down your eyes altogether. Just take a moment to arrive in your seat. Once more, finding that peace at your heart center. And then when you're ready, we'll flutter the eyes open. You can inhale, sweep the arms up and overhead, reach up, look up. Exhale, draw the hands to the heart center. 2 more times like this. Inhale, sweep the arms up and overhead. Exhale, draw the hands to the heart. And 1 more time. This time we're going to leave the hands lifted, and then you can bring the right hand down either to a block or the ground. Press your palm into the earth, and then reach those left fingertips up and overhead. And you can always be on a different side than me. I'm not sure which side you're seeing. We'll turn our gaze up towards the sky, up towards the fingertips. And then on your next exhale, watch your fingertips rain down in front. Reach them out at a diagonal. And then as you inhale, you can circle sweep your arm back up and overhead. Go ahead and take a few more rounds just like this. And you might continue to follow your fingertips with your gaze. The next time your arm is lifted, we'll go ahead and bend the elbow. Allow your hand to come back to the back of your head, and then press your hand and your head towards each other just for a little bit of traction as you reach the elbow up towards the sky. On the next inhale, we'll unwrap the hand back up towards the sky and reach both arms up. Reach, 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 and then exhale, draw the hands to the heart center. Take a moment to soften your hands into your lap with your palms either face up or face down. And just take a moment to breathe here. Notice any subtle differences from left to right. And then we'll flutter the eyes open. You can inhale, sweep the arms up and overhead. On your exhale, this time we're going to bring the left hand down to a block or the earth. You can press into the earth as you reach, reach, reach the right fingertips up. You might look up at your hand. And then on your next exhale, reach the left, or these are the right fingertips, out at a diagonal. Pressing into the earth with your bottom hand. You can follow the fingertips with your gaze as you make these nice big circles. Finding that gentle movement with your neck, shoulder. Let's go ahead and take one more nice deep breath like this. And the next time your hand is lifted up towards the sky, we'll bend into the elbow. Allow the palm of your hand to rest at the back of your head. And just feel the pressure of your hand on your head on your hand. Maybe look up and point your elbow up towards the sky. And on the next inhale, we'll reach both arms up. Exhale, draw the hands to the heart center. Take a moment to just pause, bringing your awareness into your body, into your sensations, allowing your spine to lengthen with your inhale, the crown of your head floating up towards the sky, allowing your shoulders to soften away from your ears. And then on your next inhale, we'll sweep the arms out to the sides, bring the palms onto the shoulders, and then inhale, sweep the elbows up towards each other, around and down. I'm going to just find some nice shoulder rotation here. And these could be little circles or bigger circles. But just allow yourself to move at your own pace, tuning your breath into your body, into your sensations. How is it feeling? The next time your elbows come forward, you can start to glide them back the opposite direction. Maybe you need to slow it down and really articulate the movement. Noticing what you notice, releasing any tension that might be stored there with the breath, inviting it to gather up and release. One more time like this. And then the next time your elbows come down to your sides, you can release your hands. We'll slide the hands back behind you. Press into the earth, extend your legs out into a V and just give them a little shake. And then if you like, you can cross them maybe the opposite way that you had before. And you can either stay seated for cat and cow. What that would look like is you're in your cross-legged seat. You can press your palms onto your knees. Inhale, lift your heart. We call this cow pose. Exhale, round into your spine for cat. So you can do this either seated, just as I was showing, or you might come to a tabletop position. Some people like to use the blanket underneath their knees for a little bit of softness there. So if you're finding your knees don't want to be on the hard ground, give yourself a little bit of padding. And then you might stack your knees underneath your hips, your palms underneath your shoulders, and you can either tuck your toes under or not. And then sometimes if I'm in tabletop and I want to give my wrists a little break, I might bring my forearms onto blocks. And as I'm coming into tabletop, I'm remembering that just today I tripped and fell on my knee. So maybe this would be better seated, although it's feeling okay right now. So you're going to inhale, drop the belly, lift the heart for cow pose. Exhale to round into the spine for cat. So take a few rounds of cat and cow. And I just thought of another alternative if you don't want to be on the knees. You could use your blocks to come to stand. And then you could be in a stilted tabletop here so that you're standing and your hands are either on blocks or maybe even your forearms could be on chairs or your hands could be on a chair. And we could do cat and cow here. Inhale to drop the belly, exhale to round into the spine. So seated on hands and knees or in a stilted tabletop on feet and hands. Take some time to move the spine, round into the spine, finding that flexion and that extension. After a few rounds, it might feel good to find any other movements here. Maybe drawing a big circle with the belly button or sashaying the hips a little side to side, wagging the tail in either direction, finding extension on one side, contraction on the other side. Take one more nice deep breath wherever you're at. And then I'd like to give you the option of either child's pose or downward facing dog. So I'm going to demonstrate first the down dog at the chair. Since I'm at the chair, if you're at a chair or a stool, you could do downward dog at the chair by walking your feet back, lengthening through your arms, allowing your head to hang heavy, really pressing your palms on that surface. You could also do this with blocks. So what happened to my blocks? I'm blending in. I like to put the blocks on the low setting, and then I might walk my feet back a little bit more from here. And if you'd like to take a child's pose, which is going to be a much gentler shape, possibly, you could come down onto your knees. Bring the big toes to touch, open the knees wide, sink the hips back. Walk the hands out in front and then lower your forehead all the way down to the mat. If you're finding that's just too far to go, then you could use a support like a pillow or a bolster to bring the earth up to you. So I like to bring the bolster in between the knees. And then that's like a nice, pillow to rest on. So find whatever position is going to feel best in your body, knowing that you have options. You are your own best teacher. Just feel free to tune in Listen to what your body needs and wants. If you're resting in a supported child's pose, you might lift your head if it's resting on one side and then turn your gaze to rest the other cheek. And that might feel like a really nice, gentle stretch for the neck as well. Take another nice deep breath here. Allow yourself this opportunity to soften and allow yourself to delight in a time of rest. So often in our culture, we're go, go, go. Let's honor that time of balance to rest, rejuvenate. And then when you're ready, we'll plant the palms underneath the shoulders, lift up, and we are going to be coming onto our bellies. I'm going to slide the bolster off to the side, slide a lot of my props off to the side, move the chair out of the way. And then I like to come down onto the belly with a small forearm plank. So you can come onto your forearms and then just start to walk your knees back. And now you're in a forearm plank on your knees. Actively focus on drawing your belly button towards your spine. And if you want to make this a little more challenging, you could tuck your toes under and maybe lift one knee at a time or both knees at the same time. Take some nice rounds of breath in whatever version of a forearm plank you're in. And then when you're ready to rest, you can soften onto your belly. Plant your elbows underneath your shoulders. Press your palms into the mat. And then energetically, you're going to drag your hands back. So imagine you're able to just energetically pull your forearms and your hands back as you reach your heart forward. We call this Sphinx pose. And if you had anything to eat earlier, it might be uncomfortable. So feel free to exit Sphinx pose at any time by stacking the palms, lowering your forehead down to the back of your hands. And you can always skip the belly portions if, so you have to plan these things out, huh? Take a nice deep breath in your crocodile pose, Makrasana, with your forehead resting on the back of your hands. You might like to bend into the knees, allow the heels to gently sway from side to side. And then from here, we're going to get into that chest area we were talking about, I think, before class as a request. So this is something you could do at the wall. I don't have a very good wall space, though, here to demonstrate. So imagine if you were going to do it at the wall, you would pretty much be standing. The ground would be your wall, essentially, and you would just be on your feet. So we're going to take a twist, opening through the front of the chest. So you're going to plant your right palm directly behind you and then press into your left palm so that you can roll onto your side. And you'll stack the legs, open through the heart. It might feel good to bring a block or something underneath the head, or you can soften your head all the way down to the mat. And then you can just rest here, opening through the chest, through the shoulder, through the heart. And you might keep your legs stacked, one on top of the other. Or find any other variations with the leg. This is going to be the more gentle version, and maybe you don't want to go as far. So you don't have to keep the hips all the way stacked. If you would like to soften this, you can allow yourself to hover a little bit or play around how that feels. Breathe into the shoulder, and then on your exhale, we'll roll back onto the belly. And this time we're going to stretch the left arm directly behind us. Creep the left fingertips behind you, and then you can roll onto your left side, opening through the heart and the chest, and maybe planting a block underneath the temple. Allow yourself to soften here, breathing into the chest and the shoulder. Let's take one more nice deep breath. And then when you're ready, you can roll back onto the belly. We'll plant the palms underneath the shoulders, tuck the toes under, and then press up to hands and knees. And then from here, we're going to come to stand. So if you'd like to take a downward dog and that's part of your practice, I'm going to suggest you go ahead and do that. But I'll just demonstrate how we can use the blocks to get to stand another way. So what I like to do is walk the blocks to the right, step the left foot forward, and then frame the front foot with your blocks. Tuck the back toes under, lift the back knee. So this is actually a high lunge. And then you can walk both feet forward to find your forward fold. Of course, you can come through downward dog if you prefer. And then you can find that forward fold. Allow your spine to fall towards the ground. A little bit of an inversion here. And then you can plant your palms on the blocks, on your shins, or on the chair, and we'll inhale here for halfway lift. Exhale to forward fold. Inhale to halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale to forward fold. And inhale for halfway lift, and exhale to forward fold. And then the next time you take an inhale, press into your feet, sweep your arms out to the side, sweep your arms up towards the sky, and then exhale, draw your hands to your heart center. And you can release your hands to your sides. We'll come to stand in our mountain pose, Tadasana. So you can feel your feet rooting down into the earth. Allow your tailbone to slightly tuck under just so you can feel the engagement of your deep core muscles, drawing your navel a bit towards your spine. Allow your shoulders to melt away from your ears. And then when you're ready, we'll blink the eyes open. And we're going to come into a goddess pose. And I thought I would demonstrate this on the chair in case if you wanted to do it seated. So I'm going to just bring the chair out, or you can come to the long edge of your mat. We'll step the feet out into 45 degrees. So just pointing to the edge of your mat. And then you can bring your hands to your hips. Imagine your spine just slowly sliding down a wall. And if you wanted to use the chair, you could always come to sit on the edge of the chair, and you're in your goddess squat here. So either way, then we'll inhale to sweep the arms out to the sides, sweep them up towards the sky, and then cactus the arms out into goalposts. So you can stay right here, or we can find a little movement here. So you can inhale, reach the fingertips up, And then we're going to gather anything you no longer need, anything you want to get rid of. Just imagine gathering it into a little ball, and then we're going to spit it out with a lion's breath. So you can cactus the arms and then start to exhale, stick out the tongue, sigh out through the mouth. Maybe we take one more round like that. Inhale, reach it up tall. Exhale, gather it up. And release. Maybe one more time. Feels like 3 is necessary. And then we'll hold our goddess squat here. And we can play around with balance. So you might peel your right heel up off the mat, stretching through the foot and the toes. Exhale to release. Inhale, lift the opposite heel off the mat. So you're finding a stretch through the foot. Exhale to release. Maybe one more time each side, or you can lift them both at the same time. And this is really a nice challenge for balance if you're not on the chair. Okay, on the next exhale, you can release the heels, bring the hands down to the thighs, and we'll press the palms onto the knees. And on your next exhale, you can dip your right shoulder down towards your left knee. Inhale, bring it back up to center. Exhale, switch sides. You're just dipping that top shoulder, the left shoulder, bring it down into the direction of your opposite knee, your right knee. Let's try one more time on each side. Inhale, come back to center. If you're in your goddess pose or on the chair, we'll press into the thighs, straighten through the legs, and then we're going to be coming down onto our backs to get ready for our final resting pose. Can you believe it? It's almost that time. So I'm going to bring the chair out in front so that I can show you the downward dog coming down from the chair if you'd like. If you want to walk into your downward dog, you can reach your hips back, lengthen through your arms, and then we'll inhale to lift up halfway. I'm going to step this time my right foot towards the chair, my left foot back, and then just gently lower that knee down, and then the opposite knee down, and then you can come onto your seat. Sweep your feet around in front, and then maybe you have some kind of pillow that you can rest underneath your knees. So I'm going to just come onto my back, and then if you'd like, you can take that bolster, bring it underneath the knees so that your legs can rest over the bolster. And this is called Shavasana, our final resting pose, also known as corpse pose. This pose is considered one of the most important poses in yoga, because yoga means union. It's at this time that our body can synthesize our practice. You might imagine that you can give your brain a little break, allowing your thoughts to pass by just like clouds passing overhead, allowing yourself to release any of those thoughts. And then just like on that beautiful nature hike, can you allow yourself to wander back into that place of calm at your center? Give yourself a chance to rest here. Maybe next to that beautiful babbling brook. Just notice if there is any message for you there. Remind yourself that you can always come back to this beautiful, calm center. Coming back to the book, The Yamas and the Niyamas by Deborah Adele. She has a beautiful quote from Eddie Hillesum, a young Holocaust victim, who says, ultimately, we have just one moral duty: to reclaim large areas of peace within ourselves. More and more peace, and to reflect it back towards others. And the more peace there is within us, the more peace there will also be in our troubled world. So allow yourself to really savor this large area of peace that you have carved out for yourself. Allow yourself to delight in a time of rest. Feel yourself renewed from the inside out. And then bring your awareness to that glowing jewel, your intention. Notice its color. If it's in with your inhale, allow it to glow brightly. Take a moment to follow the rays of light out from your heart center, through the sky, out into the stars. And as you hover your awareness there, practice cultivating awe and wonder. What an amazing gift it is to be here today in this time and place. And allow your awareness to float like a soft feather back down into your body. And as you re-enter this calm, peaceful place, cultivate gratitude from your heart for this amazing body and for your opportunity to carve out time to check in with your body, appreciate your body, and acknowledge its needs. And you can start to reanimate your fingers, wiggle your toes, start to rotate your wrists and your ankles. Find a long body stretch, reaching the arms past the ears, grow long in either direction. And then you might roll onto one side, find a fetal position there. Maybe rest your head on your upper arm or on your hands. Whenever you feel ready, you can sweetly, softly press yourself up to a seat. Once you arrive at your seat, go ahead and sweep your arms up and overhead. Exhale, draw them to your heart center. And I like to close class chanting one round of Om and then singing Shanti, 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 which means peace, peace, peace. So go ahead and exhale all of your breath out. And we'll take a nice deep breath together for Om. Om. Shanti. shanti, shanti. You can allow your head to gently bow towards the wisdom of your loving heart. It's such an honor and privilege to guide you through your practice. Thank you all so much for being here with me. And if you have any questions about class, please feel free to let me know.